I have 10 different gunsmith builds in this video. Each one of these gunsmiths features its own weapon catered to a specific playstyle, whether that's long range, mid-range, objective, or maybe just straight up rushing people. I'm going to go in the order of the least commonly used by me to the most commonly used by me in ranked. So we're beginning at number 10. Can you guess what gun it is? As we get into this video, keep in mind that if you are enjoying it at any point, be sure to let me know by leaving a like down in the comments so I know to make more of these gunsmith type videos when the meta changes or when the season is progressing and guns are getting buffed and nerfed. Alright, so starting off with number 10, we got the AK47. So the AK47, it's a good mid-range gun. It's also very good long range if you build it for that, but this gunsmith, which you're about to see, is more built for a mid-range playstyle with just high damage. So I don't use this a ton. But it is a nice gun to have in your loadouts. The AK-47 is just a classic. So as far as the other stuff goes, I'm not really going to be talking about my score streaks. I will briefly mention my perks and maybe the secondary as well. Maybe I'll briefly discuss other things if anything changes, but other than that, basically for the perks, I am running the flak jacket because since this is more of a mid-range build, I'm not going to be rushing all around, and I don't really need something like lightweight for the extra movement speed. I kind of want to sit back and just not die to nades or thermites or something, so that's why I have the flak jacket. Quick fix is just really good. It works on pretty much anything, and dead silence is a must. We have the annihilator as our operator, and trip mine, trophy system, pretty essential there. Hachi as our secondary. So here is the AK-47 gunsmith build that I am currently using. So we have the MIP light barrel, short, YKM light stock, OWC laser tactical, which I would highly recommend on any AK-47 build, the strike foregrip, and the extended mag A. Now, like I said, this is more of a mid-range build. I didn't go for stuff like, you know, the ranger or the marksman foregrip because that just takes away from too much like ADS speed and that kind of thing. I wanted something more balanced in between because the AK already does a lot of damage and it has a lot of recoil, so it's not the best to use at longer ranges. Moving on to number 9, we have the QXR. This is what I'm using for my perks. I have fast recover, which is currently my favorite red perk. It increases your HP recovery rate, just makes you basically heal up faster after you took a fight. It's really good with SMGs in my opinion, and quick fix also very good just with everything. And finally, we got dead silence. Now this is an objective based loadout. You can see in the name of the loadout, it's called objective because I am running something very like rushy, kind of like the QXR, just run straight in, take people out. And of course we have the transform shield to top it all off, because if our team's falling behind in rank and I just need to like purely play objective, I'll whip out something like this type of setup. We have the shovel as our secondary, others, you know, just normal nades, smoke grenades, pretty classic stuff for an objective based setup. So here is our gunsmith for the QXR. We have the MIP light, MIP strike stock, enhanced bolt, which is actually something I was testing out. It does increase the fire rate from what I remember of the QXR, and I think it was actually pretty good when I remember using it as compared to a QXR without the enhanced bolt. I think the enhanced bolt version is a little bit more fun to use and better in my opinion. So laser tactical, pretty essential in the extended mag A. This is only giving 10 mag capacity. It's good though when you're rushing into an objective and you need to have a lot of ammo to take 2 or 3 people out if they're there. So yeah, that is our QXR setup. Let's go ahead and move on to number 8. We have the kilo bolt action. Now I only use this usually in something like maybe it's crossfire or sometimes in search and destroy, which I will play occasionally, but this I don't use all the time. But if I ever want to like snipe or something but I don't want to use a scoped sniper, then I'll just whip out the kilo bolt action. So we'll go ahead and check out the gunsmith here. You guys can see I don't have a scope on here. It is an iron sight. I do really like the iron sight in this gun. I just overall like the feel of having like a no scope sniper. It feels nice to be able to one-shot people, but of course I hate hit markers, so I went for a pretty high damage setup. We have a little bit of damage boosting on the monolithic suppressor. Barrel's giving me, I believe it's damage range 45%, and yeah, steady stock, tactical laser, and stopping power reload, which actually just straight up gives flat damage and some damage range. So pretty good setup there if you want to go for the kilo bolt rather than something like the locust or the DLQ. All right, so we have the Type 25 for our 7th gunsmith loadout. The Type 25 is another classic like the AK-47. It's always good to have in your loadout if you just want to whip out something that's just really good and really reliable. This is a more mid-range setup. As you know, the Type 25 has a lot of recoil, so it's not the best at long range. So I kind of built it around that. that style. So we have the fast recover, quick fix, dead silence, pretty basic stuff for the operators and grenades. And here's our gunsmith for the Type 25. Got the light compensator, which does help with some recoil because Type 25's got a lot of it. MIP extended light barrel, excuse me, classic red dot sight, because I'm not a huge fan of the Type 25 iron sight. I mean, it's okay, but it's like, so it could be, you know, it could be a scope angle rather than just having to work with a bad iron sight. So we have the underbarrel strike foregrip and ammunition 38 round extended mag. I'd really recommend an extended mag on the Type 25 because this thing shoots really fast and it runs out of ammo quickly. So I would really recommend that. All right. Moving on to our number 6, we have the M4 LMG, but this is not what you think it is. If you actually look, it says hybrid M4 LMG. Now, if you remember from a while back, I made a video about this hybrid M4 LMG build. This was when Gunsmith was recently released. And yeah, so this is what I did to it. It's actually not the typical M4 LMG. This is the M4 LMG SMG version, and I do it more just for fun. I don't actually use this all the time. I just like really like having it in my Gunsmith if I ever want to whip it out because it's actually pretty good. Like you might think it's like a troll build or something, but it kind of has all the advantages of an LMG with like stable recoil and stuff like that, but it works like an SMG as well with the fast ADS time and stuff, because that is literally all the mods I made, like with the attachments, basically reducing the ADS speed, just all the stuff that you want in an SMG over an AR, you know, those kind of like quick mobile traits that an SMG has. So yeah, that's what I have in that setup. This is another hybrid build. This I did more for fun, but it actually is pretty effective because the Holger is a really good LMG right now. So I just have the SMG variant. So let me go ahead and show you guys. So we have MIP light flash guard here, which is the cool animated skin. That's part of the reason I have it. And then we have the light barrel short, laser tactical, strike foregrip, and then we have the double stack ammo thing, which gives it a lot of SMG like traits, reduces the mag capacity, increases the reload time by a lot, 35%, and also some extra ADS time. So this is kind of like the Holger SMG rather than the Holger LMG. And moving on here, so this is the stuff that I use quite a bit. So we have the DRH Gold Glitter. DRH recently got a big buff, and actually, did I even finish? I don't know, maybe I was changing the DRH or something, but I didn't finish with the attachments. I like having a more, I think I said it was more like mid-range, right? Yeah, so mid-range build for my DRH, and it looks like my gunsmith is not complete, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish it off. We're gonna go ahead and throw on the light barrel. Actually, you know what? Let's just go no barrel. We're gonna throw on the strike foregrip, and I'm gonna want some ammunition in there as well. Let's grab the 30 round. You don't really need the 38. Actually, we'll take the 38. So yeah, this is gonna be my DRH. I have the no stock on here just for mobility, and I believe the other attachments I had the stapled grip tape and the laser tactical. But yeah, I guess I just didn't finish. Maybe I was like modifying the setup and I forgot. But yeah, DRH Gold Glitter right here. And my number 3, yep, okay, so we got the Cordite one. This is another one of those objective-based ones. Cordite has a huge mag size, so you just want to get in there, take all the people out, throw down your shield. I have the transform shield. That pretty much tells me that, oh, Greg, this is when your like objective setups, and I also have the name there, objective. We also have some movement speed, so I just rush in there, get some heal on the kills, quick fix. And yeah, this is what we're running on the Cordite. So we got the marksman barrel for a little bit of range, strike stock, a little bit of extra stability. Laser tactical is a must. Merc foregrip to help out with hip fire in case I just want to get in there and just start hip firing people. And staple grip tape for the ADS speed. So it's kind of like a mid-range type Cordite. Also very close range because it's got the good hip fire and it's the Cordite. It's an SMG. All right, now we're getting into stuff that I use a lot. AK117, this is pretty much my bread and butter AR. Coming in at the number 2 spot, we have the AK117. This is my bread and butter type gun. Fast recover, quick fix, dead silence, stuff I use all the time. This is more of a long range build, by the way. I like to sit back, get some free kills, hold some objectives, do whatever I gotta do from like, you know, behind the fight with the type of gun, type of setup. So marksman barrel, steady stock, slide of hand perk for the reload. I think I was just experimenting with that. I usually don't use it too much. And then the 48 round extended mag is just really big, just so you don't have to reload. Just, you know, hold down objectives. Stapled grip tape also important. This is just an overall like kind of hybrid build, but since it's the AK117, it has a really low recoil, just like without any attachments at all. So I kind of like helped out a little bit with the ADS speed department and the reload department. So if I have to get up close and personal, I at least have some like SMG traits. But overall, it's a pretty much like a long range build that I went for. Now the number 1 spot, this is a rush type setup. This is what I would do if I'm just trying to like if I'm in a TDM or if I'm in like a domination game or something, and I'm just trying to rush people. I'm not necessarily trying to play an objective. If I wanted to do that, I could switch to something else with the transform shield or something to hold B side or hard point or whatever. But yeah, we have the Fennec here. So the Fennec, very, very aggressive setup. You'll see I made. I have the lightweight, quick fix, the annihilator, and then of course we got our, for the secondary. A lot of these I am using the Renetti, but the Renetti is just really important if you want to have a rush setup because it can one tap people. So yeah, here's our Fennec gunsmith. We have the light compensator, MIP extended light barrel, steady stock, Ranger foregrip, and the extended mag A. So obviously the Fennec's range is pretty bad, so I try to help that a little bit with the Ranger foregrip and the steady stock. But other than that, the Fennec is already so good close range that I didn't really need to do much in order to make it like better. So like this right here, just helping out with recoil. So like if I wanted to use it at range, I still could. But the Fennec is already a great range, great close range weapon. So that's why I kind of have it more as a rush type setup. So yeah, it's more close range and mid range rather than just pure close range, just because of the gunsmith I built on it. So yeah, that is my top 10 gunsmiths at the moment. There's a lot of guns that aren't here, and it's not because they're bad, it's just because there's only 10 slots. And some of those guns would be like the PP19, what's another one? The new one, the MX9 is also really solid. There's just a lot of guns that I haven't like put in these 10 slots, but that doesn't mean they're like not as good as the guns in these 10 slots. It's just like guns that I just haven't been using at the moment, because these 10 slots, they change, like, you know, every once in a while. I'll like switch something out because maybe I use it a lot and I'm bored of it, or it just gets nerfed and it sucks, or maybe something else gets buffed and I want to like switch it in. So yeah, just keep that in mind. But yeah, let me know what you guys have as your go-to gun, like your number one, because for me right now it's pretty much the Fennec. If I'm just trying to play and just get free wins, Fennec is so good right now. I feel like it's just so good.